Space and Rocket Center, showplace of America's space program, and home of U.S. Space Camp.
Where we do real astronaut conditioning and see the space program in the making. We live in a habitat. It's just like the real space station. And see what it's like on board an orbiter in the Space Dome Theater. The training center is where the simulators are and the fun begins.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Apollo astronauts anticipated difficulty walking on the moon. Since the moon is only 1/6 the size of the Earth, they trained on a device that offset 5/6 of their weight, the microgravity training chair.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Paul Fiore and I'm from Port Washington, New York.
Paul, tell me what you did at the pool and what you learned.
Well, we did a couple things, like we went, it was called the bird cage. It was simulating like getting out of a capsule and climbing into a raft. And we went through hoops that was simulating going through an airlock. We also did, the cube, where we were timed and we put a cube together. And the rest we had free swim.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Max Lan, and I am from Chicago, Illinois. Actually, North suburbs.
Max, what are your 2 mission positions and what did you do?
Well, first, I was mission scientist and mission control, and I told the payload specialist and the mission specialist some stuff to do, and for EVA and stuff, and fluid experiment for the payload specialist.
And the second mission?
I'm the pilot, and I get to punch in codes in the computer and fly the plane. Not plane, shuttle.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Shannon Gergen and I am from Grant City, Illinois.
What was your favorite simulator, why, and what did it simulate?
The multi-axis chair, because it was fun and it simulated swinging around in space, like if you lost control or something.
Okay. What were your 2 mission positions?
In mission control, I was orbiter systems officer, and in the Columbia, I am mission specialist too.
Okay, thank you.
During extravehicular activities, astronauts are forced to work in the frictionless environment of space. Gemini astronauts train for spacewalks in the 5 Degrees of Freedom training simulator.
What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Lindsay Klaus and I'm from Fortville, Indiana.
Lindsay, can you tell me what you learned in the clean room and what you did up there?
We built a satellite and we learned about satellites and what kinds there are.
What are the 4 types of satellites?
Communications, scientific satellites, weather, and astronomy.
Okay, and what were your 2 mission positions?
Launch and landing director and mission specialist 1.
Okay, thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Mile Yamamoto and I'm from California.
What were your 2 mission positions and what did you do?
I was the commander and I'm the tracking officer. And as a commander, I had to fly the plane, the shuttle, and as the tracking officer, I have to tell numbers of what to press in and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Ira Brown and I'm from Northbrook, Illinois.
Ira, tell me what your favorite simulator was, what it simulated, and why.
My favorite simulator was the multi-axis chair. I don't know.
Okay. What were your 2 mission positions and what did you do?
On the first mission, I was a payload specialist and I did an experiment on the Columbia orbiter. And the second mission, I was a mission scientist and I flipped buttons and talked.
Thank you.
Mercury astronauts had to be prepared to stabilize their spacecraft should it begin to tumble out of control. To rehearse these procedures, they used a device similar to the multi-axis trainer.
What's your name and where are you from?
Andrew Gall, Germantown, Tennessee.
What were your two positions on the mission and what did you do?
Flight director, and I directed the flight and bossed people around, and commander, and we haven't done that yet.
Okay. What was your favorite simulator?
The 1/6 chair and the multi-access chair.
What are the 3 steps that you do on the 1/6 chair?
The bunny hop, sideways hop, and the slow jog.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Michael Buckner and I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan.
Michael, what were your 2 mission positions and what did you do?
My first mission position was pilot and public affairs officer. And the pilot flies the space shuttle, and then the public affairs officer kind of explains what everyone's doing.
And what's your favorite simulator?
My favorite simulator was the multi-axis chair.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Andrew Gillespie, and I'm from Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Andrew, tell me what your 2 mission positions were and what you did.
I was tracking officer, and I basically just tracked the shuttle and told its altitude and downrange and how fast they were going, miles per hour. And my other position was payload officer 1, and I did an experiment on IV fluid, and if it would microgravity, and how to do put it into the patient by pumping it and cutting it off.
Thank you.
Survival in space would not be possible without the support of pressurized suits. Constructed from soft, durable fibers, they allow us to work freely while protecting us from the dangers of space.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Adam Schillinger, and I'm from Grant City, Illinois.
Adam, can you tell me what you did at the pool and what you learned?
We jumped off a diving board and got in a little raft and swam over to a bird cage. And we had to put together a cube in the water out of pipes and stuff. And then we did swam through 2 little loops for an airlock.
And what was your favorite simulator?
1/6 chair.
Why?
Because I got to bounce really high.
What does the 1/6 chair simulate?
1/6 of Earth's gravity.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Valerie Almuya and I'm from California.
Valerie, tell me your 2 mission positions and what you did.
I was the mission specialist 1 and I did an EVA, and I was a launch and landing director and I pushed buttons and said stuff.
What's an EVA?
A spacewalk.
Thank you. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Esther Lynn and I'm from Walnut, California.
Esther, can you tell me what you did in the clean room and what you learned?
We built a satellite and we learned about satellites. Ina told about space and we had a lot of fun.
And what were your 2 mission positions and what did you do?
First, I was public affairs officer and I informed the public on what's happening on the Columbia. And right on our next mission, I'm payload specialist too, and I flip a whole bunch of buttons.
Thank you.
Early astronauts, upon returning to Earth, splashed down into the ocean. Then they jumped from their capsule into a rescue raft and paddled to a basket suspended from a helicopter. days of rocketry, the Redstone was developed as a surface-to-surface missile. Scientists added a spinning upper stage to create the first multi-stage rocket, the Jupiter C. On January 31st, 1958, it launched the first U.S. satellite, followed by Alan Shepard on May 5th, 1961, the first American in space. At Space Camp, we study rocketry and propulsion by launching our own model rockets.
Main engine start. 7, 6, we have main engine start. 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space.
The mission control team and shuttle crew have made final preparations and are ready for launch. Teamwork is vital. Everyone must perform his task with clock-like precision.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Columbia is 22 miles high and 18 miles downrange. We see booster burnout. Confirmed burnout, and we now have booster separation. Roger.
most complete rocket display on Earth. Many of the items now on display were designed and built here in Huntsville. Marshall Space Flight Center developed the rockets that launched America's space program. Marshall continues to support our efforts through research and development, as well as providing facilities for training and flight control.
I would like to thank you for coming to Space Camp this week, and particularly I would like to express my appreciation to the parents who have permitted their sons and daughters to attend this special program. You know, Space Camp is really set up to encourage young men and women to excel in science and math. We use the space program as a focal point. We believe the space program is important to this nation, and certainly in the future it will be. And if we can teach you the importance of having a good foundation in science and math by using the space program, then we feel that we've accomplished our objective. To the future, I say to you, young men and women who will be our scientists, our astronauts, and our pilots in the 21st century, I wish you well, and I know you will be great achievers, and I know you will make us proud. And I'm looking forward to the day when one of you space campers plant the U.S. flag on the surface of Mars. I'd like to say a few words to the parents and grandparents and friends of our campers that are here today. First, thank you for the effort of coming to this program and seeing your youngster graduate from what we think is a very important experience. And I'd also like to remind you that before you leave, I would like to suggest that you visit with the counselors and staff members here who work extremely hard in presenting this program every week in a very professional manner. And I think you'll agree with me that these are very dedicated young men and women that work with Lisa and Ralph and all the staff here that make this program as exciting as meaningful as we possibly can. So when your youngster has completed the week, they really do take something away that's special. And I want you to be sure and visit with those folks, because I think you're going to find them they're a special breed of people. I'd just like to say a few words about what this is all about at Space Camp. We're going into our 12th year. We've graduated 150,000 children across this country have attended one of our programs. And it's a very important endeavor for us. We take it seriously because we want to prepare your youngster for the best possible experience that they can have when they become an adult. They're going to enter a world that's going to be much bigger and broader than what we lived in and grew up in. They're going to encounter people from other countries that will be very competitive, and this country is number one in technology, and I think they will continue to be number one in technology because of the young men and women that I see coming through this program. I'm very confident that they're going to make their contribution in the 21st century. They're going to lead us toward being first in technology. And it's impressive for us to see how excited these young people are about being challenged and making a contribution. And I'd like to take a moment just to brag about them. We see young men and women come here every week, some 20,000 a year, and they really do have their heads screwed on right. They have a focus, and you may not see that as a parent always, but we see this side of the youngster that is sometimes much more in depth than what you might know. These young men and women want to be challenged, they want to make a contribution, and we don't always do that with the standard traditional school approach. And I think the Space Camp experience oftentimes opens that child's mind to some opportunities that they would never have encountered until quite possibly later in their years. And that's what we try to do here. We try to give that youngster a reason for studying science and math other than just saying you got to have it, but let them understand if they want to become an engineer or a shuttle pilot or an aviator, they've got to have a good foundation in those courses. And I think it's working. We now have thousands of graduates who are going into either universities or colleges in this country, into the academies, and many of them now have graduated and going into the workplace. And it's going to be very interesting to observe how those people develop in the coming years, and we're going to track them. We'll be tracking your son and daughter to see what they do with themselves. So we'll be sending you questionnaires and such things for you to fill out, and we'd appreciate you to respond to that. You know, we may have in this audience today another John Glenn, Alan Shepard, Sally Ride, Neil Armstrong. We may have the youngster who will climb aboard a shuttle in the future and join a group of humans going to Mars. And that young guy or gal may be in this audience today. So we are excited about what we're able to do with young people, and we're pleased that you have chosen our program to participate in, and I'm confident that you'll hear a lot about this program. In fact, you'll probably hear more about this program than you care to as you leave here and drive home. And I must apologize for the acronyms and the terminology that we have taught your little guy or little gal, because it's going to be confusing for you parents, moms and dads, for the next few days. But keep in mind that's it's all part of the learning process. To you graduates, I congratulate you on your accomplishments this week. As I've told many in the past, I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, because you're going to have an exciting future that will give us all reasons to be proud. Again, I challenge you always to look to the future and aim high.
Hi, I'm Ina Waller, team leader for the Wyle team. This was a super team and we had a lot of fun this week. And the first graduate is Ira Brown from Northbrook, Illinois. Max Schlon from Northbrook, Illinois. Michael Buckner from Battle Creek, Michigan. Paul Fiore from Port Washington, New York. Andrew Galt from Germantown, Tennessee. Andrew Gillespie from Beaver Creek, Ohio. Shannon Gergen from Granite City, Illinois. Adam Schillinger from Granite City, Illinois. Lindsay Klaus from Fortville, Indiana. Mile Yamamoto from Walnut, California. Esther Lynn from Walnut, California. And Valerie Almuina, also from Walnut, California.
We are now ready to take our place among the space flyers, scientists, and engineers of the 21st century. We have taken our first steps in the continuing space science education program. Ahead is Space Academy Level 1 and Aviation Challenge.